Hi everyone, welcome to the spring edition of the Fine Line Video Journal. This is Shot Talk. I'm Angie Kellen for the eBeam Initiative, and joining me for this segment of Shot Talk is Aki Fujimura, CEO of D2S and company managing sponsor of the eBeam Initiative. Hello, Aki.
Hi, thank you, Angie.
Thank you for being here. I know that you had just got back from Yokohama, Japan, where Photomass Japan was going on and celebrating its 20th anniversary. Also, I know that you were very busy with the co-sponsorship of the banquet, and you also participated in the closing panel and talking about future mask making. So I'd like to start off by asking you, what were the key takeaways this year at PMJ?
Yeah, I think first and foremost was multi-beam being an official roadmap for the mask writing technologies of the future. Number two thing, I think, is a different kind of parallel processing on the computing side with 4 papers talking about GPU-based computing. And number 3, I would say, is EUV. I saw a lot of raised momentum on the EUV issue.
Well, let's start with the EUV. I know that it keeps increasing and getting stronger all the time, and it's something we always hear about. What did you feel PMJ had offered on the EUV front?
Yeah, it wasn't really so much any particular paper or anything, but it was a general feeling. Anytime a new thing comes along like this with EUV, there's the main thing, the core technology, in this case, the gun. Then there's the entire set of infrastructure that has to change in order to make it happen. So both things need to go. Usually what happens is the infrastructure starts to get ready, but it's kind of waiting for the gun to go off, the clock to start. And that event needs to happen when everybody in the infrastructure really believes that it's now going to happen, that core technology is ready. And I felt like at this PMJ, the gun went off, the clock started.
You also mentioned multi-beam. And what were the indicators that this might be gaining a little momentum as well?
Yeah, that was very clear from the very beginning of Tuesday to the very last session, which was the panel session. The discussion centered around multi-beam. And it started with Hattori-san of New Flare announcing that the multi-beam, particularly with the emergence of EUV masks, is going to be a necessary part of the roadmap for mask writing. And then as far as I know, it was the very first time that New Flare had announced publicly that it is on their roadmap for the future writing.
Now, another trend you mentioned was GPU-based applications, and you mentioned a number of papers that were on this particular process. Why do we need GPU-based applications?
Yeah, so this is my personal opinion, but anything that's simulation-based, whether it's physics simulation or chemistry simulation or biology simulation or even sociology simulation, I think it should be on GPU. And no exception, but also particularly eBeam simulation is suitable for the kind of computing the GPU can do. So I was really glad to see 4 papers talking about the application of GPU in various different ways. Of course, D2S uses GPU computing for mask simulation, but in this conference we saw papers that talked about multiple different ways, not just simulation. So that was good to see.
Well, to wrap up and also look forward to autumn, I know that the eBeam Initiative is going to have their annual event at Bacchus. So what can you tell our listeners that they might be able to expect at this year's event?
Yeah, so we had a very successful survey last year. I was very interested in the answers, and so we're going to continue that this year again. We'll have some same questions and some other new questions this year, so I think it'll be interesting. The results will be posted on September 10th, so look for that. And also, in terms of the actual discussions that's going to be held on Tuesday afternoon of Bacchus Week, we'll focus on GPU. We talked about multi-beam and other aspects of it in the times past, so this year we're going to focus on GPU. We'll have more details of that in August, so look for that on our website.
Well, terrific. We look forward to that as well. And thank you for joining me today, Aki.
Thank you.
This concludes our segment of Shot Talk. Please join us for the spring edition of the Fine Line Video Journal.